In this video, I'm going to show you a cheap and easy way to transform the aesthetics of your Tesla while improving its efficiency. What's up everybody? Today I'm going to show you how to install these Aerodisc wheel covers on a 2026 Tesla Model Y. These ones I ordered from EVAAM.com, EVAAM, I don't know how you say that, but probably like that. And they didn't come with any instructions, and so I'm kind of just winging it and figuring it out, but I figured I'd go ahead and show you guys how to install them. We'll go ahead and remove the hubcap, clean the wheels, clean the lip, and then this disc for the wheel. There's a wheel protector there. Show you how to install all that. So here are some of the tools and everything that I'm going to use. You don't necessarily need all this stuff exactly, but I would recommend at least the isopropyl alcohol and some clean rags. But I'm going to go ahead and use this jet black. It's kind of like a quick, black spray wax, quick detailer type thing that I just have on hand. And so I'm going to go ahead and clean the wheels with those. Just give them a good cleaning, maybe a little bit of a coating. Not that this is very durable or anything, but just to help protect the wheel from behind there. And then a couple of rags for that, and then heat gun for heating the glue on the back of that wheel protector, and some cutters for cutting. There's like a zip tie thing on the packaging, so technically you'll need that. These are some cap cover things that came with the Aerodiscs. So anyway, without further ado, and then I have this just for scooting around, sitting on. Makes it nice, don't need it again, but for convenience. So I'm gonna go ahead and get you hooked up on the suction cup here and show you exactly how to remove these and get started. Alrighty, so go ahead and move some of the stuff out of the way that we don't need right away. Alright, so first off, we are going to go ahead and get this wheel, the factory wheel covers, or whatever you want to call these, off. What I like to do is shove one hand in here, and then I'm going to like press it away from the wheel to avoid scratching and kind of see where it's scratched from the factory. And there's no way really to remove them without scratching the wheel. They already are scratched technically from being installed, just the way that they are. But anyway, in here, pull towards the back here, and it'll pop the front out, and then I like to kind of push back this way and pop this out. You're gonna repeat that on all 5 of these. So no matter how careful you are, they're gonna be scratched. And then it pops into the center wheel center bore right here. So I like to get just really close to the center in here, and on a couple of these, just to avoid from straining these and breaking the wheels, and just pull out. So that's what that looks like. And you can see on these, there's just no way that these metal clips and stuff are not going to scratch the wheel, on install or uninstall regardless. So you're going to end up with little scratches on the wheels. It's inevitable. They just rub the wheels. They make noise as you drive around. If you ever like in a drive-through or things like that, or just have your window down cruising around the parking lot, you're gonna hear these kind of like creaking as the wheels turn and flex. So again, those are just gonna scratch the wheels. It's just the name of the game. So we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. And then, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and clean the wheels here. A little bit of this, I already did some on the other side. So again, it's nice to just be able to wheel around a bit, but go ahead and clean your wheels. You can see even after wiping, that scratch is still there. So name of the game is what it is. I don't mind these wheels as is. I don't absolutely hate. They're definitely a little bit different looking wheels with the aero caps, but like I say, I don't hate the design and the style of the wheels as is, and then especially without the factory like aero caps, they're really not bad looking wheels. Even just like this, like a lot of people just buy a center cap that fits this hub bore and off of Amazon or whatever. I will put a link to those in the description if that's the route you want to go, give you an idea on what you could get. I haven't personally run or ordered any of them, but I've seen people do it. So anyway, they aren't bad looking though. And as is, I've debated just running these wheels as you see them here. You know, they come, like you can buy a kit that puts caps over all the lug nuts and then pops a cap into here, and then it looks like it was just meant to be this way. So that's definitely an option. Again, this is all optional here. Me just cleaning the wheels because I want them clean. So go around them. When in Rome type of situation. And then you'll go ahead and take your, because obviously you just put a wax coating around this. I mean, obviously there's tire shine on these tires. There's already tire shine on this lip. So this needed to be done regardless, but at least, you know, that probably took off the initial grime or crud. And then just put a healthy amount of isopropyl alcohol. This is 91%. I would do something higher percentage for sure. Cheap at Walmart, whatever. And then just a microfiber towel here. And I'm gonna go around this outer lip because that's where the wheel protector sits. I'm gonna try and keep the greasy part on the greasy part and the wheel part on the wheel part as I go around, and I'll probably go around twice just to make sure I didn't accidentally scrub. You can see how much crud comes off. You know, a lot of that's the tire, but you know, there's definitely some crud from the tire shine. So here goes the lid on that. And we'll just do the same thing again, going around here. Yeah, it feels cleaner already. And again, just being careful not to put that grease back onto the wheel. Cool. That's done. We will let that air dry for a moment. All right, so I just grabbed a couple of the other, well, all the other stuff here that I'm gonna need for the next bit. So you're gonna go ahead and gonna take this wheel protector here. If you'll notice, there's a part here that says 19 on it for a 19-inch wheel. And then there's like a little opening space. I'll show you on the back of the disc. There's like a black spacer piece that comes off of the wheel. And my assumption is that that's intended to go in here, and that's to help, you know, if the hubcap were to rotate or get loose or something, it would keep it from just spinning all the way off. So I think this is kind of just like a safety measure to keep the hubcap from rotating, loosening this, you know, big nut here off, and then the wheel cover ultimately falling off. I'm going to position that point over by the TPMS sensor slash air valve, and my thinking with that doesn't matter, but this is probably the lighter point of this whole ring. So as far as wheel bounce goes, this shouldn't make any difference really, but at least I'm putting the lighter portion of this with the potentially heavier portion of the wheel, so it should balance things out pretty well. Again, probably doesn't matter, but just me being mindful of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel, that's all clean. I'm gonna go ahead and peel the 3M sticky tape here, cover off. You probably could go around the wheel and put it on and then peel it as you go. I think that's more difficult than it needs to be, but you take this heat gun here, just get an idea, be careful, don't melt anything, don't burn yourself. This thing's not extremely powerful, so wait till it gets hot, and then I'm just gonna go around this a few times, warm up that glue. I mean, it's like in the 70s, mid 70s, upper 70s here today, so this probably isn't even necessary, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway, just to kind of guarantee if there's any greasiness left on that wheel face, that this has the better opportunity to stick. The cap does kind of hold it to the wheel, so to speak, but just in case. So again, putting this over here by this, I'm gonna go ahead and line up kind of the top, and then so the top's a little low, probably right there. That's looking pretty good. And the sides, and I'm just gonna kind of go around and push it like this, make sure it's like, you know, even, and then I'll just kind of rub around the whole thing, put pressure on the whole ring so that all that tape gets stuck to the wheel. If you just touch it in a few spots, only those spots that are touching there that you pressed on are probably going to, you know, stick down properly. So, and you can kind of give it a pull in some spots and just make sure it's not popping off right away, but that seems to be pretty good. So next you have this whole setup. this is what's gonna pop into that wheel hub bore, and then this orients onto it in a special way. And then the disc also orients into 2 of these. So you have to get this lined up right in the wheel to where the black piece on the back of the disc, as I mentioned, lines up into here, this area. So again, I think that's to keep the wheel from spinning off. So again, no instructions in the kit. Came with all the, you know, all the tools you really need. But yeah, so I pull that out, and then I will get the Aerodisc cap ready to go. These are anyone's guess on how to get it apart. Once that's removed, this is that black thing, like spacer thing I was telling you about. That is what I believe goes into this area right here, and because I think that will keep it from rotating more than, you know, that much either direction. So, but I mean, all in all, they feel like they're really good quality. You can get custom designs and stuff. I'm not creative enough, or wasn't when I ordered these, to try and think up something cool. They do have a bunch of options, so depends on how, you know, different or creative you want to be or get. But you'll see this pops into the back like this, and I think it only fits into 2 of them technically. This was probably used for like an 18 and a 19-inch cap, and then I bet there's some difference. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, so you ultimately want this to pop onto that. I tried originally like kind of screwing this in, but the way it works is the screw comes in and it holds these into the center bore, spreads them apart. So you can't connect this all and then pop it in as needed. So you have to kind of just like eyeball it. So what I've been doing is taking this, lining it up to where that is here, and then just getting an idea on, and I'm holding this in with like my finger through here. So getting an idea on where this is going to line up, and then kind of looking in and trying to pop it in. It's going to be really hard to pop it in like that, but if you can get an idea at least. So that's there, that's there, that's there. You can kind of hold this where it needs to go, and then that'll be a good starting point, and you can pop all of this in at the same time. And then again, you'll have to check this. Kind of a silly process, but it'd be cool if they could make this easier. But you can push on this then and see where that would rub your wheel if you didn't have that protector in there. Again, it comes with all that, but so yeah, we're slightly off. So the cap wants to be like here-ish, and if I look over through here, I can see with a light it would be a little bit better, but that the whole thing needs to rotate a tiny bit this direction, and that might be all that it needs to go. So I'm gonna hold this here, make sure that's going where it needs to go, and then I'm gonna push in on this, and it looks like that's gonna do it right there. So hold that there, take your center screw, and you should be able to screw this all the way in by hand for the most part. And then if this gets tight right away, I would imagine you're not lined up on that center point where you need to be, but this should suck the wheel in and get a few good turns. And you can take this tool, and you're not going to go nuclear. Like, you'll feel it kind of like stops. Yeah, so did you see it rotate and then it stopped? I think that's from, yeah, that's where it's hitting in the center point of that. So yeah, now we know we're lined up there. I'm going to continue to hold the wheel from rotating and just snug that down. I think it's normal for that to be able to rotate to that point, but if you give this a tug, it's not just going to come off like on the freeway or something, you know, like that thing's on there. So again, that's the screw going in the back and pressing those little fingers out to hold it into the hub, like center bore. So you can see everything's lined up nicely. So everything should be centered on this and good to go. The only thing left to do is this annoying thing here. you know, it'd be nice if they just had this either already installed or like just ready to go. You could install it backwards and have a white center, or maybe put your own sticker on there or something. But the white side does have some little like tabs almost to where you could pry with a tool. So it seems like that's the way that it should go. But anyway, this is a double stick and it's really annoying. I'm trying to get this side off of the sticky first, but it probably won't work that way just because the other side's a little easier to peel. So if you can get this side first, which for me, oh yeah, it's gonna happen. There we go. Try not to dirty this up too much with your fingers. And then I'm just gonna try to line it up best I can. It's not the same size, it's slightly smaller luckily, so you don't have to get it perfect, but it sticks really well when it sticks, so that should do right there. So yeah, it's not exactly centered, but it'll do. It's not hanging out over any of the edges, so that's exactly what we want. You could take the isopropyl alcohol here again and clean the back of this like I didn't do, and you could clean, you know, this just to make sure there's no like oils or anything from manufacturing, just to give that again the best opportunity to stick. And then you'll go ahead and peel this. See how much easier that side peels. So maybe this is the way to do it, that side first anyway. And then you could stick this on any way you want, but I'm being weird, and since there's a hole there and a hole there, I'm seeing that as like a horizontal line, and I'm just lining this up to where the T is somewhat upright amongst those. So if this was one side, that was one side, and this is up, then I'm gonna go ahead and stick this on like this. This is again just me being extra, and there you have it. So that technically would do it for this install. You just repeat that same process on all 4 wheels. And if you ever need to like check your tire pressure or anything, you know, I would keep this tool in your frunk or your trunk or somewhere in the car to where you can remove this and get access obviously to like your wheel for if someone was coming to swap a spare onto your car, roadside assistance, or you know, if the dealer needs to rotate. I probably would pull these off before the you know, taking the car in for service. That way they have access to everything they need to do, or if you're, you know, having them rotate tires or check tire pressures, etc. That way they have everything they need. So yeah, pretty straightforward and easy. I'm going to be doing a video comparing the efficiency of these to the factory wheels. Supposedly these can add up to like 10% of range. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that, but there is something to be said because Tesla is so insistent upon, you know, adding these, even though they're not the prettiest things. But they say that pulling these covers can, and just running the wheels without them, can reduce your range. The aerodynamics make sense maybe over the course of the whole battery. That's true, but for me it's a bit more aesthetic, and I guess it's cool if I can be aesthetic for cheap, not having to buy all new wheels, but also saving on some efficiency. I'd say that's pretty cool. I will be doing a video comparing the factory wheels or wheel covers, these guys, and these, and just seeing, you know, what range I can get on a, you know, full loop, let's say of like 50 miles, and then, you know, I'll do 50 miles with the factory ones and 50 miles with the Aerodiscs, and just see how that all shakes out. I appreciate you watching. I'll have a link in the description for my Tesla referral code. If you're thinking about ordering a Tesla, I would definitely appreciate if you use that. That gives you some benefit, gives me some benefit. Right now I think it's like 3 free months of FSD, you know, just for getting, or it's 2 additional compared to the 30 days that they give you currently. That could change, but anyway, it says three free months of FSD. So it gives you that, which is like a $300 value, and then it gives me a little bit of kickback that I can use on Tesla stuff or FSD or subscriptions, things like that. So again, I'd appreciate that. Help me out, help you out. Let me know if there's any other questions you have about these or anything else you'd like to see testing wise with these Aerodiscs. And I'd be happy to do my best to get you something or get you more information on it, at least answer some questions, etc. So thanks a bunch for watching, and I'll catch you on a later video.